Hey there, I'm Feli from Play, and I'm super excited to be announcing the return of Office Hours. One of the greatest moments we get here at Play, where the Play community actually brings up questions about algorithms, the platform, the different launching strategies, and so on for themselves, for their clients, or whatever it is that they're planning to do. And we're able to fully talk with them and with everyone and to learn as a collective and even to exchange ideas among ourselves. On our latest session, we discussed the latest Andromeda update, a meta algorithm change which was in the mouth of every single advertiser out there. Watch the clip to see how that went, and remember, you can join us every Wednesday for office hours. I'm glad to see you two here. This is our first kind of relaunch of office hours. We used to do lots of
Oh,
these.
no kidding. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Fantastic.
I know. But then, we got like so many people telling us, hey, I can't join at that time. Can we see another time and so on? And it was like a lot of man hours going into how to figuring this out. And
Yeah,
now we're basically doing this twice on Wednesdays. Basically, there is an early session, and this is like the late afternoon session.
right.
I'm really glad to be covering this over here to be with you. And yeah, basically, we will keep on doing this. So you can keep on joining us for these sessions. Wesley, you dropped a super, super interesting question on the forum because you can leave questions when you sign up for this, on those
Yeah,
forms in there. And that is great because, yeah, basically everyone is wondering what to do with Andromeda, with the new release. There are many people really worried. Now, first, I did want to cover Wesley's question about Andromeda. And basically, in case you haven't heard of Andromeda, it's basically Meta's new algorithm, for targeting users, for optimizing your campaigns and everything around that. It was a huge change. And many people were saying all over the place, like, oh, now Meta is not working. Now Meta is, lowering my results and so on. But that's basically because, of course, Meta requires a different strategy from what advertisers traditionally did, right? And I do want to share this because there is a super, clear and old article, of Meta on engineering by Meta, which explains it goes over what they did back at Meta, right? Basically, Andromeda, this goes over a lot of points and details and all of this stuff, but it's basically, a machine learning system where it's basically improving how your ads are displayed to users based on two things. Traditionally, usually, Meta used to work, with groups of people when it targeted, so there was interest targeting, demographic targeting. It was like, okay, everyone who follows a page about pets, about dogs or whatever is going to be targeted by your ad, regardless of if they simply like seeing images of pets, if they are already customers of your competition, if
hmm
they're not interested in purchasing. And this was kind of not an issue. It was the best thing Meta had back then. Andromeda, with this machine learning system, is actually more user targeted, right? And this tackles two things. We go from group targeting of people who are interested in pets, people who like fashion, people who whatever, into individual user behavior, right? And this impacts really differently how we work if we are like more focused on a niche kind of business, if we're dealing with a client who is, for example, selling a really eco-friendly, vegan, dog-friendly, whatever, one of those really niche down products, or if we are selling a mass kind of product service. So on one end, the targeting will be much more individual, much more catered to the actual user. On the other end, it will also be much faster in the way that it's delivered. Why? Because mainly you want the ads to reach your users at the right time, right? So
hmm
sometimes when we're targeting by demographics, like we were talking about, you are reaching people who might have already purchased from your competition because they were researching, I don't know, marketing agencies near me, whatever. they already bought from a competitor and they are still receiving your ads because Meta has outdated information. They follow all of your competitors and you won't ever get a purchase from them. This tries to kind of patch that by reaching the users at the different stages of the funnel by using machine learning, basically.
Uh-huh.
It means that it's not perfect. It doesn't predict automatically, magically everything that happens, but it will be much more accurate than it was before. And that means that you probably want to rely a bit more on these new generative AI tools for targeting, for placements, for creatives. And the main thing that it goes over on this article has to do with basically how this machine learning feature will actually be learning from your creatives, your headlines, your images, and your videos to actually find those niche audiences that resonate with it, right?
Yep.
So this means that if we think of a mass kind of production, an e-commerce, retail, supermarket, something that can reach a lot of people from really diverse kind of backgrounds and everything, you do want to keep on testing entirely new approaches, different marketing angles, different
Mhm.
state, and really produce as many high quality creatives as you want across different angles, like young people, university students, retired people, all of these on more of a broad scale, because basically you will be drilling for oil on different kind of niches, right? Meta will detect like, hey, in this specific ad, he's mentioning like, do your knees hurt? Well, hire our delivery system. We take the food or your groceries right to your house and so on. And Meta will say, okay, this creative is telling me that I should go for the retired people, and it will be more niche down in that sense. And then if you launch a new creative with, again, and I reinforce this, with an entirely new marketing angle in there, it will actually detect like, hey, students, do you want to get the best deals in town? That will allow Meta's AI, Meta's machine learning to say, okay, this is going to a different niche right now. So we're gonna drill down in there. We're gonna show it at all of that niche, and then get those results. That's for more of mass products that can be sold to a lot of different people. Now, if you are on a niche down area, again, maybe you sell vegan cat food, a really specific product, and you want to make sure like, hey, I cannot be targeting a lot of different people. Well, in that case, you want to do a different, three things, different problems, both pain points and desires. So pain points, vegan cat food. So difficulty getting delivered food, difficulty getting your cats with digestive problems to eat the food that you got. Different circumstances. So people on different situations, like with their new cat, or people with a really old cat, or people who have inherited a cat, or whatever, or who work at a refugee, or whatever situation, and also different outcomes in that sense. So in that sense, you will be drilling at the same kind of area, but looking at multiple perspectives. And you want to make sure that you are kind of covering that whole funnel of decision making, that you got the unaware of the problem stage, the problem aware. So people who are saying, oh, I'm a vegan and my cat has to eat this food, and I know that I'm a vegan, and this kind of contradicts my belief that there is no solution for that. For example, next stage, problem aware. So how do I fix this, right? And then next stage, you go into solution aware. So we have different offerings in there. Then you have the product aware, and finally the most aware, that person who is actually purchasing, trying one day one competitor, one day another. So again, the good thing about all of these release is that it benefits more people who are not that savvy in marketing. It is kind of a more democratic in that sense, because you do not need to know that much about narrowing down interests and doing interest over interest over interest, because that process will happen automatically now, right? And the other good thing in there is that Play already has many tools to help you with this creative generation. So you probably noticed we have been revamping in this advertise screen all of the creative selection tools that you'll find in here. So we have restructured these dynamic, standard, and carousel ads, right? And in here, you have all these different sources. First of all, your stuff, if you want to upload your media, scan, stock images, Instagram, Meta, and all of this stuff. And on the bottom, you got the smart creatives, the text to image, the latest Nano Banana integration that I do recommend testing it out because this one will keep on working and improving it because we have come up with some really fun ideas with Logan for the product shot generator. But I do recommend testing it out. Drop your product image, drop your logo, drop your service, and simply let it do a bunch of creatives for these different focuses because it's really good, at generating fast creatives of really high quality. And same even with the meme generator if you're not used to using it, and with the AI avatars. All of these creative generation features allow you to generate really diverse creatives, and that's the important point in here, right? So you want yourself and your clients to be using younger AI avatars and older AI avatars, and you want them to be using smart creatives for videos and smart creatives for images and using different hooks. So maybe you say, okay, let's go into the customized screen in here. Let's make first only vertical variations, and in the text, let's actually customize the bit if we want, or let's prompt a new. I was doing like an example, coaching for financially struggling people. But in here, you can drop a new prompt. So, vegan cat food for university students. Perfect. You generate a bunch of creatives, and then you go to your next marketing angle, and so on and so on. And you can directly generate all of your campaigns stuff, remember, from this improve button. So if you're just getting started with your campaign, on this top section with the improve button, you can add your marketing angle, so you can kind of play with it. You can also drop your own definition, so focus on retired people, focus on whatever. The important thing is that you're adding a bunch of diversity in there, that you are ready to actually give more of that, maybe leave behind a bit our old idea that we had of going deeper and deeper and building more custom creatives and more catered and more everything. Because actually, the idea behind this Andromeda update is that the machine learning from Meta will actually directly go towards your audience in there. And you want to go for a diverse, all geared up towards every single direction at the same time, possibly, kind of strategy when you're launching across, Meta, Instagram, Facebook, and all of these platforms, basically.
Yeah.
And one brief interruption from post-production me, because I basically forgot to mention one key feature of this Andromeda update and how Play can help you make the most out of it, out of your strategy and your campaigns under this new paradigm, which is basically our optimization features and basically the optimize for me feature. As you know, you can turn on optimization on your campaigns on the optimization and insights tab, where it will start automatically optimizing your targeting, your creatives, and so on. And it also enables the creative bank, which basically allows you to upload into an existing campaign up to 50 images and 50 videos. You just come here, select the ones that you want to use for this, you tap on save and start testing, and this will automatically rotate them into your campaign. And why is this so important? Because of what we have been talking about, where Meta is now with this Andromeda update going directly into different niches and showing your creatives and probably rotating them much faster at a much more accurate time frame. This also implies that they will get exhausted a bit more frequently, a bit more fast. And after that has gone by, the Optimize For Me feature allows you to automatically remove your underperforming assets or your assets which have been basically exhausted by your audience and rotate in brand new images and videos previously approved by you. So you still have full control, but this allows you to basically hands off, keep on optimizing and showing your campaigns to new audiences and making the most out of this Andromeda update to find new niches for your products and services. And that's all for today. Remember that you can join office hours with these buttons that you'll find on your profile for joining live sessions. Again, you access your profile by tapping on your name on the top right corner of the screen, and then you can just simply schedule your office hours sessions, bring your questions to us in the next form you'll find over here, and select the one which you want to join. You'll find the same form within the Brands tab on the right of the screen. Same thing, if you want to join the office hours, you just select it from the drop-down, you bring your questions to us, and we can talk together on the next session.